Intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or other use of the game without express written permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated is prohibited. Well, here's the way the Dodgers stack up, starting the final game of the regular season. Steve Sax at second base. Kenny Landreau in center field. Dusty Baker hitting third in left field. And Steve Garvey in the cleanup spot at first. Rick Monday in right field. Ron Cey at third. Mike Scioscia, the catcher. Bill Russell hitting eighth. And Fernando Valenzuela, the pitcher. And on the mound for the Giants, Bill Lasky. Lasky, 13-12, and 2-0 against the Dodgers this year. So you have a fella unbeaten against the Dodgers going for the Giants, and a winless Fernando going against San Francisco. Fernando is 0-4 against the Giants. So here is Sax. Strike. Lasky is basically a sinker-slider pitcher, and he is most effective when he keeps the ball down around the knees. Unfortunately for the big guy, he pitched all winter, and he is making his 31st start and his 32nd appearance. The Giants say he's tired, and he has a lot of trouble keeping the ball down. 1-1 the count to Steve Sax. Sax, with his 49 stolen bases, dunks one to center, but Venable is playing him right there. So 1 out, and Kenny Landreau, the batter. Kenny Landreau quoted just the other day about the fact, I'm going to be a factor in this race, and he was certainly a factor in yesterday's game when he hit that 3-run home run. Kenny will check in at 284 with 7 home runs, 50 runs batted in. Right. Oh, 0-1 the count to Kenny Landreau. Dusty Baker on deck. Fouled away. 0-2. Dusty Baker, right ankle taped like a thoroughbred from the toes all the way up to the top of the shin. On deck. 1-2. Another thing about Lasky, he will basically throw the ball about, when he's strong and fresh, around 88 miles an hour, but he has trouble keeping that speed, and his velocity tails off considerably after about 2 innings. That is, in his last few starts, because, as we mentioned, the Giants say he's tired. Didn't look tired on that pitch. The high fastball, he just blew him away. Two down, and Dusty Baker coming up in the first inning, no score. They're underway in San Diego, and they'll be underway in Baltimore. Base hit into right field for Dusty Baker. So with 2 out in the first inning, Baker singles to right, and the batter will be Steve Garvey. Steve Garvey coming up, and of course, every time you see Garvey the last few days, it becomes a rather poignant moment. Garvey wearing the Dodger home flannels, as they used to call them, at Dodger Stadium, and a rather bittersweet finale for him there. And now wearing a Dodger uniform for the last time in the regular season for 1982. What the future holds for him, no one knows. We certainly know what the past has held for him. He has been a magnificent Dodger. Ball 1. And believe me, we are not privy to any information about his future. Nor do we have an opinion. 1 ball and no strikes to Steve. And Baker goes. The pitch outside. Brenly's throw. They got him. Brenly threw out 3 out of 4 the other night. And he gets Baker. And at the end of half an inning, Dodgers nothing, Giants coming up.
That's a terrific car.
You want it? It's yours. Cheap.
Cheap? They don't make them like that anymore.
I know. But a beauty like that deserves leaded premium gas. That's hard to find these days.
I can find it.
Where?
Right there.
Union 76 still has leaded premium?
Union 76 Super. One of the best leaded premiums around. Now, still want to sell that car cheap?
Cheap? They don't make them like this anymore.
Fill her up with spirit,
Where you could still get leaded premium.
the spirit of 76.
From the Farmer John collection, smoked Polish sausage at its delicious best. Tasty, tempting cuts of pork and beef ground to a marvelously meaty texture, then naturally seasoned and richly smoked to a super savory goodness. Great as is in a host of hearty main meal dishes and for a hefty He-Man sandwich. Smoked Polish sausage and its spicier version, hot Louisiana brand sausage. Whichever you choose, you'll enjoy another winner from the Farmer John collection. Say, friends, we have a special offer to all Dodger Blue subscribers from now to the remainder of the year. You'll receive a year's subscription to Dodger Blue, the official newspaper of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and you'll receive a copy of the official recording of the 1981 World Championship Dodger year. Send your name and address and $15.95 to Dodger Blue, Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, California, 90012. And you'll be right up to date on all the Dodger doings throughout the year. Bottom of the first inning, the Dodgers fail to score, and here are the Dodgers with the leather with their backs against the wall. Steve Garvey at first. Steve Sachs at second. Bill Russell at short. Ron Cey at third. Dusty Baker in left. Kenny Landreau in center. Rick Monday in right. Mike Scioscia behind the plate. And Fernando Valenzuela on the mound. Fernando has lost 5 in a row to the Giants after winning his first 3 decisions against them lifetime. Fastball strike to Max Venable. Venable, a former Dodger, hitting .230, playing center field in the absence of Chili Davis, who will be operated on tomorrow. 1-1. Fernando making his 3rd try at his 20th win, and sitting in the brilliant sunshine here once again, Peter and Annette O'Malley, and we can see Terry Seidler alongside Mrs. O'Malley. Strike, 1-2. We asked the question yesterday because Terry Seidler was wearing a Dodger blue blouse. By golly, she's got another Dodger blue blouse on today. 1-2 to Max Venable. First inning, no score. Ground foul down and by Don Buford. On deck for the Giants, and what a year he has had. The little guy at second base who has been such a vital cog for San Francisco, Joe Morgan. One and two to Max Venable. Fastball got him looking. So Fernando strikes off with a strikeout. And the batter now, Joe Morgan. Fernando is trying to be the first 20-game winner for the Dodgers since Tommy John in 1977. But you know what is really startling? For the first time, really, in big league history, if Fernando doesn't win his 20th, for the first time in big league history, there'll be only one 20-game winner in both leagues, and that's Steve Carlton. We can also keep an eye on the Baltimore-Milwaukee game. And Robin Yount led off against Jim Palmer and hit a home run. Ball one to Joe Morgan. Boy, do we have enough going on. The Dodgers-Giants, Atlanta-San Diego, and Baltimore-Milwaukee. All of the other games are just exercises, so we really concentrate on those 3 games. Two balls and no strikes. Good fastball. John Lowe of the Daily News, who pointed out the note about Carlton, also points out that for the first time since 1958, no major league team has won 60% of its games. So they have finally reached parity. There are no great teams. Bob Howsam, back in 75, 76, referred to the Cincinnati Reds as the last of the great teams. He might be right. Strike. 3-2. You now have several very good teams. And consequently, we wind up with the pennant races that we have. The National League West going down to the last day. The American League East going down to the last day. The American League West going down to the next to the last day. And what it really adds up to is more excitement and more fun for all of us. 3-2 to Little Joe. Missed with a fastball. So the walkingest man in National League history, Joe Morgan, adds to his laurels with a base on balls. And Jack Clark will be the batter. Big crowd, magnificent day. There isn't a cloud in the sky. A very, very light breeze rippling Old Glory in center field, and a full house. And a meaningful game, at least for the Dodgers. And it's meaningful anytime the Giants play the Dodgers. In fact, here are these two teams playing this big game today. One of the two teams held a pre-game meeting. Which team do you think it was? The Giants. Frank Robinson, I think, trying to remind his Giants to add a little sweetness to the season by knocking off the Dodgers. Morgan goes, and a check swing foul by Clark. And Little Joe had a big jump. He would have stolen it. Morgan, with all of his other good work this year, has stolen 24 out of 28. Tim Lawler in San Diego, all he did in the first inning against Atlanta is strike out the side. Down and away to Clark, 1-1. So Atlanta failed to score in the first inning. Lawler struck out the first two hitters, Washington and Ramirez. Pitching carefully, he walked Murphy and then turned around and struck out Bob Watson. And the Dodgers wish him well. Jack Clark with Reggie Smith on deck. First inning, no score. Clark finishing up the best year of his career with 27 home runs and 103 RBIs. In fact, the only thing that Clark doesn't do well is run. He's not a man who's going to steal any bases for you. For the Giants, they have announced that third base coach Jim Davenport and pitching coach Don McMahon will not be coming back. That came as quite a shock to a lot of us, including McMahon and Davenport. So Joe Morgan, a very good and very knowledgeable base runner, trying to get a jump on Fernando. And he's trying to tie him up. He had a very good jump on the first pitch, and Fernando realizes it, but he was fortunate. Clark fouled it away. Of course, if you're Clark, you might see more fastballs in this spot than you normally would. Fouled it away. the case of the pitcher trying to hurry the ball to the catcher to get the runner. In the bottom of the first inning, Rick Camp is pitching for Atlanta, coming back on just 2 days rest. Remember, Camp started and went 4 innings against the Dodgers. Gave up 4 runs and 6 hits. Camp has lost 5 in a row. One and two, the count to Jack Clark. Boy, what a move he gave Morgan while striking out Clark. Oh, you talk about a thoroughly professional big league pitcher. A beautiful move on Morgan. And then he blows Clark away. See, Morgan, he just couldn't afford to move. He had him frozen. And with 2 out, Reggie Smith, the batter. Reggie hitting .286. About 60 points less than that as a right-handed batter. Ball 1. Almost all of his home runs, 16 of his 18, and almost all of his RBIs have come as a left-handed batter. And you can bet Reggie is pumped up for this final game of the year. Close. Very close. The tag on the back just missed. And Smith pulls it deep, but it is hooking foul. And the count 1-1. The umpires charged with a big responsibility for this ball game. They do such great work during the year, and we should put the spotlight on them. Frank Cooley behind the plate. Jerry Crawford is the umpire at first. Doug Harvey, the crew chief, is at second. And Nick Colosi on the line at third. Fouled away. 1-2 to Reggie. In San Diego, the first 2 batters grounded out. So there are 2 out, bases empty. First inning, no score with Atlanta. On deck, Darrell Evans. Strike 3 called. He struck out the side. And at the end of an inning, no score.
What a number!
New Nissan Sentra. You need this car.
Room for 5.
You need this power.
I need it.
You need this room. You need the price. You need it.
I need it.
New Nissan Sentra. That's us. We are driven.
This Bud's for everyone who sweats it out under the hot sun.
This Bud for you. For all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
The Western Air Force salutes the unsung heroes of its Phoenix run. They're the men and women who keep Western Airlines buttoned up and flying high. Master mechanics, battle-tested baggage handlers, crack cleanup crews. Thousands of dedicated guys and gals who make Western's Phoenix run one of the smoothest and most affordable, with an unbeatable fare. Keep the Western Air Force flying, fellas. We couldn't be a new Force to Phoenix without you.
First baseman, Steve Garvey.
In the second inning, no score in the ball game. Steve Garvey, Rick Monday, and Ron Say in that order. Garvey was left at the plate when Dusty Baker was thrown out in the first inning. The Dodgers in the first game, they eventually won it 4-0. But 3 of their 4 base runners were thrown out. Yesterday, they didn't have to do much base running except trot. And then today, Baker thrown out. So with Bob Brenly behind the plate, the Dodgers have been burned 4 out of 5 base running attempts. Strike. I'm sure you know that if the Dodgers can pull off the miracle along with San Diego, there would be a playoff game at 5:15 tomorrow at Dodger Stadium. Bouncer up the middle, and Garvey has a base hit. So Garvey leading off with a single to center, and the batter will be Rick Monday. Anyway, we just want to remind you that at the possibility of that playoff game tomorrow, box reserved and general admission tickets are on sale at the Dodgers Advance Ticket Office on Stadium Way and at all Ticketron and Mutual outlets. The Dodger Advance Ticket Office open until 5:30 today and again tomorrow morning at 8:30. Tickets will be sold at regular season prices, and if tomorrow's game is not played, well, then tickets may be returned at the place of purchase. Here's Monday, the hero of Friday night's game with the grand slam. Ball 1. Monday in yesterday's game went 0 for 2 and then had the rest of the day off. No score, second inning. They're in the second inning at San Diego. No score. Fouled away. That got a little bit of Bob Brenly. One and one to Rick Monday. Garvey held on by Reggie Smith. Remember the argument yesterday at first base about Reggie blocking Steve Sachs with his knees. 1 and 1. Ball 2, 2 and 1. Reggie was quoted as saying, "All I did is what Socia does." But of course, a catcher can't block home plate unless he has the ball. And the Dodgers felt that Reggie had blocked first base without being in possession of the ball. Just another argument between the Giants and the Dodgers. Little nubber down towards Morgan. He has to hurry to LeMaster, and they get the 4s. So 1 out, Monday at first, and Ron Say the batter.
Number 10, third baseman, Ron Say.
Johnny LeMaster will be glad this year is over. The shortstop has been playing with a very painful right thigh. So Monday at first, 1 out in the second inning, no score. They're in the second inning at San Diego, no score. Tim Lawler and Rick Camp. Lawler struck out the side in the first inning. Ron Say came out of a slump by hitting a home run yesterday. It's been a struggle for him. He was 1 for 18 until he hit the home run. But of course, Say has had some big years against the Giants particularly, and this year is no different. He has 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in, and 24 hits against San Francisco. Strike. One out, second inning, no score. Say followed by Socia. In San Diego, 2 down in the second inning with Glenn Hubbard up. No score in that ball game. You won't have to get a sore wrist twisting the dials. We'll try and keep you up to date. 1 and 1. High drive into deep left field. Back goes Leonard. Away back. It's gone. Ron Cey, who has certainly been fighting his way out of adversity, comes up with his 6th home run, 17 RBIs against the Giants this year, and the Dodgers trying to send a little pressure to San Diego. They lead the Giants 2-0. Ronnie, who hit one yesterday afternoon, hit another long one today. So it is 2-0 Dodgers. 1-0 to Mike Socia. A $50 book of Union All Auto Script to the Palm Springs Youth Center in Palm Springs. Socia popped it in the air foul behind the plate. Brenly is there. Makes the catch.
Batting in. Number 18. Shortstop, Bill Russell.
Atlanta went out in order in the 2nd inning. Meanwhile, Milwaukee is leading 2-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Strike to Bill Russell. Dodgers leading 2-0. Oh, if you love baseball, this has to be, well, he's not very happy, but if you love baseball, what a day this is. 1-1. This is a feast. On deck, Fernando. That's hit over Morgan's head into right center. Clark over to cut it off and does. So Russell, who was playing the best baseball of his life the last 2 months, singles to right center field, and the batter will be Fernando. So 2 down, Bill Russell at first, and the Dodgers leading 2-0. Strike on the outside corner. Fernando has 16 hits this year, including a home run and 9 RBIs. He had bad location, did Fernando. He was looking for a pitch inside. The pitch was outside. And, of course, that's when you really look awkward. Oh, 0-2. And that got away from Brenly. So Russell moving to second easily. It'll be ruled a wild pitch. Bill Lasky in his 31st start, his 32nd appearance. Pitching to Fernando with Russell at second. 2-0 Dodgers, 2nd inning. Foul back. We mentioned that some of the Giants thought Lasky was a little tired. He has worked 184 innings this year, but as we mentioned, he pitched all winter, and they feel that winter ball is now exacting a toll in the last 2 weeks of the season. That's hit to center. Venable has to go back and make the catch. Fernando really drilled it. At the end of an inning and a half, Dodgers 2, Giants nothing.
Friends, he's been part of the Dodger family for over 30 years. He's won numerous awards for his vivid broadcasting style, and on August the 1st, he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. He's Vin Scully, a gentleman who's long been recognized as one of the finest sportscasters in the business. This week, Union 76 is offering you this handsome portrait of Vin absolutely free at participating stations while supplies last. You don't have to buy a thing, but you must be a licensed driver. So come on in and go with the spirit of 76.
From the Farmer John collection, the fresh pork sausage so many Southlanders wake up to at their breakfast tables. the only Eastern pork sausage sold locally that's strictly fresh and at peak of full fresh flavor. Sausage that's seasoned to lively, luscious perfection with natural herbs and spices. Enjoy it often in skinless pork links, patties from the roll, and an old-fashioned link sausage. The strictly fresh and naturally seasoned sausage from Farmer John.
Say, friends, remember the pennant-winning years, 1977 and 1978? How about the excitement of the playoffs with Houston in 1980? And for that matter, who'll ever forget the ups and downs, the thrills of the 1981 World's Championship year? And what about the pennant race the Dodgers are in right now? What we're talking about is next year. Celebrating our 25th anniversary, why not be a member of the Dodger family and have season tickets? Send your name and address and phone number to 83 Season Tickets, Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, 90012.
Bottom of the second inning here at Candlestick Park, with the Dodgers leading the Giants 2-0. The Giants' chief tormentor has done it again. Ron Cey hitting a 2-run home run. For the Giants, they'll have Darrell Evans, followed by Jeff Leonard, and then Bob Brenly.
Number 41, set third baseman Darrell Evans.
Darrell Evans hitting .255. Evans with 16 home runs, 61 runs batted in. 2 of his home runs hit against the Dodgers, and there's a ringing base hit, number 1. That'll bring up the ex-Dodger property, Jeff Leonard. Leonard has 1 home run against the Dodgers, 15 hits, and 13 runs batted in. The home run was in a Fernando game when Fernando was relieved by Dave Stewart, and Leonard hit a grand slammer. And that's going to be just fair, down the line and in the corner. Evans is on his way to third on a double by Leonard, and the tying runs are out there. So second and third and nobody out. Brenly, LeMaster, and Lasky due up. And Fernando in some trouble. In fact, in this kind of a game, you don't wait. The Dodgers immediately get a man up in the bullpen. Joe Beckwith, who pitched so well the other night against Atlanta, will be first up today. Bob Brenly is hitting about .330 against left-hand pitchers this year. Dodger infield is back. They need some outs. Ball 1. Dodgers 2, Giants nothing, but the Giants at second and third. 1 ball and no strikes to Brenly. Ball 2. Two and 0. Ball 3. And Beckwith heating up in a hurry as Fernando gives up a single to Evans and a double to Leonard. Ball 4. So with the bases loaded and nobody out, Johnny LeMaster, Bill Lasky, and Max Venable coming up. The Dodger infield in double play depth. LeMaster hitting .216. Evans, Leonard, and Brenly out on the line. Ball one. Ball two, and he missed with a fastball that time, and Lasorda going out there. That gives us a chance to tell you in San Diego at the end of 2 innings, no score. And at the end of 2 in Baltimore, Milwaukee 2, Baltimore nothing. And Milwaukee has just scored again on a home run. So it's Milwaukee 3, Baltimore nothing in the 3rd inning. Atlanta, San Diego scoreless at the end of 2, and the Dodgers leading 2-0, but in trouble in the 2nd. Ball 3. This is as wild as we have seen Fernando. Evans at 3rd. Leonard at 2nd. Brenly at 1st. And Fernando can't buy a strike. Strike. LeMaster checking with Jimmy Davenport, coaching at 3rd. Ball 4. Dodgers 2, Giants 1. Still nobody out, and Bill Lasky the batter. Lasky has 8 hits and 4 RBIs this year. Strike. Steve Howe now gets up and joins Joe Beckwith in the Dodger bullpen, with Venable and Morgan due to follow Lasky. There's a ground ball down to Russell. He goes to Sachs. He goes to Garvey. Double play as the tying run scores. In the 3rd inning, Atlanta went out in order, and the left-handed Tim Lawler picked up 2 more strikeouts. Remember, he struck out the side in the 1st inning. That gives him 5 strikeouts in 3 innings. And in the bottom of the 3rd inning, San Diego will be coming up. But meanwhile, Max Venable, the batter, with Bob Brenly at 3rd and 2 out. 0-1. Venable struck out in the 1st inning. So a 2-2 tie in the 2nd inning. What a day. And it's just starting. Fastball hit back a 3rd foul. It'll drop untouched. 0-2 to Max Venable. Bob Brenly standing at 3rd in a 2-2 tie. Got him looking. But the Giants get 2, and at the end of 2, a 2-2 tie.
6,000 acres, nearly as many chores. My 3 Datsuns are a match for anything. They go anywhere, 4x4.
Roomy King Cab?
And my Datsun Little Hustler hauls as much as some standard pickups and gets better gas mileage than all of them.
This 76-page Datsun football guidebook is loaded with everything about football, both college and pro, and it's yours free for the asking at your Datsun dealer now.
The Western Air Force advances across America. In a move destined to help liberate beleaguered air travelers, Western's joint chiefs begin an all-out campaign against high airfares, with unbeatable fares from the East Coast to Hawaii, Alaska to Mexico, and to over 40 cities in between. There's no stopping the Western Air Force from its appointed mission to be a new force in the sky against high airfares.
Covering Jerry Pate is a super opportunity for a photographer.
If I win this tournament, I'm going to make you famous.
I counted on my Canon AE-1 program with all the features a pro wants to capture all the sides of Pate's game.
Now it's your turn. I told you I was going to make you famous.
The AE-1 program makes the toughest shots simple.
The Canon AE-1 program. So advanced, it's simple. Canon, the official camera of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
In a 2-2 tie, we go to the 3rd inning. We told you Milwaukee leading Baltimore 3-0 on 2 home runs by Robin Yount. He now has 29. If Milwaukee wins, I would guess Robin Yount would wind up being the most valuable player in the American League. What a year he's had. All right, into the 3rd, 2-2. They're in the bottom of the 3rd in San Diego, no score, with the pitcher Tim Lawler at bat. Ball 1 to Sachs. Steve flied to center in the 1st inning. Big year, 49 stolen bases, the most by a Dodger, and Lopes led the league in 76. Davey had 66 that year. 2-0 to Steve. So Bill Lasky gave up the 2-run home run to Say, and the Giants got him back to get him even. Right, good one. 2-1. Two and 2 to Steve Sachs. And you notice Lasky kept that ball down. That's the key to the big right-hander. Busted bat, dribbled up along 3rd. Brenly to Reggie Smith. Boy, he really sawed that thing off right at the knuckles. Watch this. He's going to wind up with only the handle. And he couldn't believe it. Look at that little stump. So Brenly gets him easily. In San Diego, at the end of 3, no score as the Padres went out in order 1-2-3. Strike to Kenny Landreau. Landreau struck out in the 1st inning. Kenny hit a big 3-run home run yesterday. A bunt foul. It hit him in the batter's box, so he'll come back. 0-2 the count. The Dodgers and Giants in their last meeting of the year. The Dodgers have won 5 of 8 here at Candlestick, but they lost 5 of 9 at home. The Dodgers are the best road Dodger team since 1977, and they were the worst Dodger home team since 1971. And you're watching it all. The Giants and the Dodgers with reports on Atlanta, San Diego, and Milwaukee, Baltimore, all on Channel 11, KTTV in Los Angeles. 2-2, top of the 3rd. Off speed, and he missed with it. Bill Lasky. Big guy, he's 6'5", so he comes at you. Fouled away. Lasky's only 25 years old. In fact, he'll be 25 in December. They got him in the deal that sent Jerry Martin to Kansas City, and he came over here with Rich Gale. He's from Toledo. Among other places, he went to Kent State. 2-2 to Landreau. 2-2 tie in the third. The Dodgers 2 runs, 4 hits. The Giants 2 runs, 2 hits. Atlanta, San Diego scoreless at the end of 3. Popped it up, and it'll be the third baseman, Evans. 2 down. Evans not wearing sunglasses, and it looked like he might have needed some help, so Johnny LeMaster, who does wear glasses, started to come over to help out. But Darrell made the play. Dusty Baker, the batter. He singled in the first inning and was thrown out trying to steal. Nub foul. Pretty good fastball, too. He didn't get around on it. 0-1. One and one. A Dusty Baker with Steve Garvey on deck. And Lasky tying the laces on his right shoe, so timeout for the moment. Ran away off the corner. Ball 2. 2-1. The Giants afield with Smith and Morgan, LeMaster and Evans, Leonard, Venable, and Clark in the outfield, Brenly behind the plate, and Bill Lasky on the mound. Off speed and a little pop foul, and that will be that. At the end of 2.5 innings, a 2-2 tie.
I need premium unleaded.
No, Union 76 unleaded regular.
My car knocks and pings without the right gas.
Father knows best.
College girl.
Cars can knock and ping these days.
See?
But Janie's right.
Ta-da!
You see, Union 76 unleaded regular has more spirit without buying premium unleaded.
All right. Fill her up, Nick.
I say it has a lot in common with your daughter.
What do you mean?
Well, they both have plenty of spirit.
Fill her up with spirit,
Try the unleaded with spirit.
the spirit of 76.
From the Farmer John collection, the meat that's made for barbecuing, savory, succulent, fresh pork. Indeed, not just fresh, but pork at its very freshest and most flavorsome. The only strictly fresh eastern corn-fed pork in Southern California. For only Farmer John brings the pork out here live and dresses it fresh locally. Cook it over the coals on your barbecue in roast, chops, and spare ribs. The strictly fresh pork, only from Farmer John. Every fan who enjoyed all of the excitement of 1981 will certainly want to have a copy of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the championship year. All the memories and the excitement of 1981 as the Dodgers came from almost nowhere to win the World's Championship against the New York Yankees. 96 pages of pictures and stories capturing it all. It'll cost you $11.95. Send your name and address on $11.95 to Championship Year, Post Office Box 51200, L.A. 90051. Bottom of the third inning in a 2-2 tie. They're out in order in the fourth inning in San Diego. And at the end of 3.5 innings, no score, and the Padres coming up. Tim Lawler has struck out 5 and has not allowed a hit through 4 innings. Meanwhile, with Milwaukee leading 3-0, Baltimore has just had a home run hit against Don Sutton. So that would make it Milwaukee 3 and Baltimore 1. That's at the end of 3 innings. Joe Morgan walked in the first inning. Fernando, a very wobbly second inning. Breaking ball out, ball 1. Fernando has walked 3. He has tried to balance his books by striking out 4. Ball 2. So Little Joe starting it off. Then Clark and Smith, the numbers 2, 3, and 4 hitters, against a Valenzuela who looks anything but sharp. Fastball missed. His control right now, anyway, is about as bad as we've seen it. He's missing in all directions. A lot of times a pitcher will begin to miss in one spot, but he's missing high, low, outside, and inside. Popped up the 3-1 pitch, and it'll be Russell. 1 away.
Number 22, right fielder Jack Clark.
Jack Clark, who struck out in the first inning, coming up. Down in the bullpen, Joe Patini, an infielder, might be taking over for Johnny LeMaster. Remember, we told you John can't wait for the year to end because his right leg has hurt him so badly. And it looks like Patini might be picking up for him. Clark hits it foul. When Fernando pitched against Atlanta his last time out, it appeared in the first couple of innings that he was pitching very defensively against Atlanta. He eventually went 7 innings, allowed 2 runs. Terry Forster lost that game in 12 innings, you remember, 4-3. And it might have been an early case of trying to make perfect pitches that got him in some trouble. Strike 3 called. He threw a fastball right down the middle, and that was the last thing in the world that Jack Clark was looking for. He was guessing Scroogey down and away, and instead he just drilled it. So Fernando with 5 strikeouts. And he wasn't trying to get cute with Clark. He just drilled it. He struck out Reggie Smith in the first inning. We've got a 2-2 tie, bottom of the 3rd, 2 out, bases empty. Milwaukee leading Baltimore 3-1 at the end of 3. And they're in the bottom of the 4th inning in San Diego, no score. All the other games, exercises. 0-1 to Reggie. Fernando waiting. Reggie had a sore back earlier in September. Kept him out of the lineup for a while. When the Giants were at Dodger Stadium, he had to take himself out. But he's back in there now. 0-1. 1-1 with a screwball. Sutton and Palmer in Baltimore. Camp and Lawler in San Diego. Valenzuela and Lasky up here. Missed with the fastball. Ball 2. 2-1. In San Diego, bottom of the 4th, they have 2 out and Terry Kennedy at the plate. Three and 1 to Reggie Smith. Ball 4. So that'll bring up the left-hand hitter, Darrell Evans. In San Diego, Terry Kennedy has just doubled with 2 out.
Number 41, the 3rd baseman, Darrell Evans.
So no score in the 4th inning in San Diego. Kennedy at second base. We have a 2-2 tie in the 3rd. Reggie Smith at first, and Darrell Evans the batter. Kennedy's double went down into the right field corner. Ball one to Darrell Evans. One and one. Down in San Diego, Joe LaFay is the batter. With a runner at second, 2 down, no score. Left-hand hitter against Rick Camp. 1-1. Ball 2. 2-1 to Darrell Evans. That's a strike. 2-2 to Evans. Fastball got the outside corner. And there goes Reggie. Breaking ball outside. The throw. Too late. Reggie Smith stealing a base against the Dodgers. Naturally, you're wondering about Reggie Smith and stolen bases. He is 7 for 7 this year. So he doesn't run much, but when he does, he makes it. So now 3-2 to Evans. Reggie Smith at second, 2 out on the third, and a 2-2 tie. Meanwhile, Joe LaFay made out in San Diego, and they left Kennedy at second base, so they're scoreless at the end of 4. Hit foul off third into the crowd. So no score in San Diego at the end of 4. 2-2 in San Francisco in the third. 3-1 Milwaukee leading Baltimore in the fourth. Three and 2 to Darrell Evans. Just missed. Ball 4. And I'm still getting the feeling that Fernando is trying only to hit the corner. He has walked 5 while striking out 5. And Jeff Leonard, who doubled in the second inning, coming up. Leonard has given the Dodgers a bad time this year. He has 16 hits, including a home run, and 13 RBIs. And, of course, Leonard set up the 2 runs with the double. Joe Beckwith is up again in the Dodger bullpen, so Fernando is very shaky. 5 walks, 5 strikeouts in a 2-2 tie. After Leonard comes the catcher, Bob Brenly. So we've seen Beckwith twice and Howe once already in the Dodger bullpen. Good fastball. Bluffed by Socia, sending Reggie back to second. They go to the 5th inning in San Diego, no score. Tim Lawler has not allowed a hit through the first 4 innings while striking out 5. Oh, and 1 to Leonard. Right. 0-2 to Leonard. Terry Harper will start it off in the 5th inning in San Diego. No score. No balls, 2 strikes to Jeff Leonard. 1-2. Reggie Smith at second, Darrell Evans at first. 2 out in the third inning, a 2-2 tie. Half swing, strike 3. A half a dozen strikeouts for Fernando. The Giants lead 2. Ross will be along in a minute. At the end of 3, a 2-2 tie.
This Bud's for that first day on the job. This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Maxicare thinks it's time to cut the aggravation out of group health insurance. So we cut out claim forms, and we cut out annual deductibles. Maxicare cuts the cost of preventive care, too. Routine exams and well child care are just $2. And if you do get sick, Maxicare pays 100% of hospitalization. Maxicare provides maximum medical care, not paperwork. Ask your employer about MaxiCare, the new generation in health care.
Alice serves up the laughs, weeknights at 6:30, beginning Monday here on LA 11.
A year ago, baseball had some of its darkest moments with the baseball strike taking the action away from the fans for 2 months. But what a year this has been. A record attendance at the turnstiles, 44 million plus. You Dodger fans with an unprecedented 3,600,000 at Dodger Stadium. And now you come down to the last 2 days of the season. 3 of the 4 races weren't resolved. Here the final day, half of the races not determined. What a great year for baseball it's been. A good ball game here today. We can tell you that Terry Harper has just hit a home run for Atlanta and San Diego. So the first hit off Tim Lawler gives the Braves the lead 1-0. 2-2 here. Let's go to the 4th, and Steve Garvey the lead off for the Dodgers. Garvey singled up the middle his first time up today. Mundy forced him at second, and then Say unloaded another home run at Candlestick Park. But the Giants came back to tie in the second. Garvey lifts one to left. That's playable. Jeff Leonard calling for it. And there's one away. So Terry Harper, who'd hit only 2 home runs all year, one of those against the Dodgers. Homers off Tim Lawler.
Right fielder, Rick
They're in the
Monday.
top of the 5th down in San Diego. Monday batting against Lasky here in San Francisco. Monday had the big hit here Friday night, the grand slam homer in the 8th inning off Fred Brining to give the Dodgers and Jerry Royce the 4-0 victory. Off speed pitch, foul back. What a roller coaster ride for Fernando today. 6 strikeouts and 5 walks in 3 innings. Johnny LeMaster did leave the lineup, and Joe Patini is now in at shortstop for the Giants. LeMaster with the bad leg. Mundy takes inside, 1-1. On the corner, 1-1. Joe Morgan was talking about Lasky's remarkable control. Bill has walked an average of less than 2 men every 9 innings this year. Tough play if it's fair. The foul ball. So 1-2 to Rick Monday. And Fernando trying to collect his thoughts on the Dodger bench. Daddy Fernando became a papa this week.
Down in San Diego, Juan Bonilla just made a brilliant play to rob Glenn Hubbard of a base hit up the middle. So they're 2 out of the 5th inning after Harper opened with the home run. 2-2 to Monday. Padres going all out. Terry Kennedy, who's got a very sore finger and played first base last night, is doing the catching today for the Padres. They played a rookie catcher last night, Ron Tingley. Put Kennedy at first. Ground ball to Morgan. And they're 2 away in the Dodger 4th inning. So Lasky has now retired 6 in a row since Russell's 2nd inning single.
Number 10.
Here is Ron Cey.
Ron Cey.
They made the announcement in the press box that Cey's home run today was his 19th at Candlestick Park. Willie Stargell's at 25 here. Tony Perez at 21. But Cey moved into a 3rd-place tie with Richie Allen with the 19 home runs at Candlestick. He's at 34 against the Giants' lifetime. They're in the 4th inning in Baltimore. Milwaukee 3, Baltimore 1. Sutton against Palmer, and Robin Yount with 2 home runs to give him 29. Cey finds himself in a hole, 0-2. Now they have completed 4 innings in Baltimore. Still 3-1 Brewers. Mike Scioscia would be next as Cey can extend the inning. A 2-2 tie. We're in the 4th. Just missed. 1-2. Atlanta settled for the run on the Terry Harper homer in the 5th. So at the end of 4 1/2 in San Diego, Braves 1, Padres nothing. Two and 2. If there's a playoff tomorrow at Dodger Stadium, and it would begin at 5:15, I've got to wonder if Joe Torre would come back with Phil Niekro on 2 days rest. You'd have to think so. What a year Niekro's had, 17-4. Who would the Dodgers pitch? Probably Bert Hooton. But that's a long way off. Cey checks his swing, or did he? No, says Jerry Crawford. He's out. The Dodgers gone in order for the 2nd consecutive inning. At the end of 3 1/2, Dodgers 2, Giants 2.
Is it the most refreshing way to make the most of every day? And wherever you go and whatever you do, there's something big waiting for me and you. Coke is it, the most refreshing taste around. Coke is it.
Be ready for the Coca-Cola mystery shopper when she asks, what's the real thing? Just answer, Coke is it, and you'll win up to $100 in free groceries on the spot.
Great night.
What, are you kidding?
No, tonight my Union 76 station can really help my customers.
Really?
Sure. We've got wiper blades, all-weather radials, maintenance-free batteries.
Yeah.
Wait. Somewhere out there, a motorist really needs my help.
Yeah?
And he will be coming through that door just about right now.
How'd you do that?
Well, we can work here as long as I...
You learn to spot the customers right up there in the mirror.
Go with the spirit,
We're here to help.
the spirit of 76.
The West's largest display of affordable housing and vacation vehicles returns to Dodger Stadium November 6th through 14th. Leading companies will be showing 1983 models, and over 200 booths will be featuring a wide array of home, garden, and recreational accessories and services. Major builders will display homes ranging in size from modest 2-bedroom models to luxury 3-bedroom units. Over 600 campers, trailers, and motor homes designed for every need and priced for every budget will be shown. That's the Manufactured Housing and Recreational Vehicle Show at Dodger Stadium November 6th through 14th. In the bottom of the 4th inning, in a 2-2 tie, the Giants will send up Bob Brenly, Joe Patini, and Bill Lasky to face Fernando Valenzuela. Brenly walked to load the bases his first time up, and he drives one to left center field. Baker indicates he has a play, and Dusty one-hands it. One out. And here is Joe Patini, who took over at shortstop from Johnny LeMaster. Patini spent most of the year at Phoenix. He's batting .211 for the Giants, but he's only been to the plate 38 times in the National League this year. The Dodgers trying to make it 40 wins in their last 56 ball games at Candlestick Park, and they've got to have it to stay alive. Patini takes low, ball one. Rick Camp and the Braves leading in San Diego, 1-0 bottom of the fifth. And the Padres just got their third hit of Camp, a leadoff single by Tony Gwynn. Tommy Boggs was originally scheduled to pitch the game today for Atlanta, but they made a change and went to Rick Camp. 2-1 now to Joe Patini. Popped up. Sachs going out, Mundy behind him, and it's Rick's play. 2 away.
Number 45.
Despite his struggle today, Valenzuela has still allowed only 2 hits, and they were back-to-back in the second. Evans opened with a single. Leonard doubled him the third. And the walks to Brindley and LeMaster to force in 1 run, and as Lasky bounced into a double play, the Giants got the tying tally home. Ball 1 to Lasky. The Giants came home for their final 7 games this week, only a game out of first place, and they were very confident they could win it. That's out of play, 1-1. But they have lost 4 of 6 since, 2 to the Braves and 2 to the Dodgers this weekend. Meanwhile, Atlanta left home for the final 7 on the road in second place, and they won 5 out of 6. And they're winning today in San Diego, 1-0 in the bottom of the fifth. Down in San Diego, with a runner at first and nobody out, Broderick Perkins of the Padres hit a ground ball up the middle. It looked like a double play, but it hit the second base umpire, Bob Engel, and went for an infield single. Talk about a break. Let's see if the Padres can cash it in. 2-2 to Lasky, and they have the scores up on the board now here at Candlestick for everybody to see. Atlanta 1, San Diego nothing after 4.5. Milwaukee 3, Baltimore 1 after 4. Fernando trying to get Lasky, and he did. 7 strikeouts for Fernando. The Giants are gone in order for the first time today. We move along to the fifth in a 2-2 tie.
Take off with the most exhilarating new car of the year, the Datsun Turbo ZX. Now available with 5-speed in 2 or 4-seater. The 5-speed Turbo ZX. This year, shift into something awesome.
This Bud's for all the guys who keep the action from getting out of hand.
This Bud's for you, for all you do. The king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Hi, I'm Reggie Jackson. You know, I surround myself with the finest in classic cars. After all, I collect them. I also surround myself with something extra special in car audio. Panasonic car stereo with ambient sound. Unlike ordinary stereo, Panasonic ambience virtually surrounds me. Like I'm in a concert seat, not just a bucket seat. So listen to Reggie and listen to Panasonic ambience. That's Reggie sound.
Available at Columbia Auto Stereo. Three's Company, weeknights at 7, beginning Monday here on LA 11.
To the fifth inning at Candlestick Park in San Francisco with Vin Scully and Jerry Doggett. This is Ross Porter. We're delighted you're along, and what a great day for baseball. In San Diego, the Padres had 2 on, nobody out in the fifth inning, trailing the Braves 1-0. And Tim Flannery from Anaheim singled to center field to load the bases. Dale Murphy's got a strong arm. He was playing shallow for Flannery, and with nobody out in the inning, the Padres didn't chance it. So San Diego has the bases loaded and nobody out against Rick Camp. Here in San Francisco, Mike Scioscia takes a strike from Bill Lasky. Scioscia fouled out to Brindley his first time up. Driven along the left field line, Leonard coming over. It's a foul ball. So Scioscia will come back 0-2. In San Diego, Tim Lawler, a very good hitting pitcher, is at the plate. He's hit 3 home runs this year. Scioscia, Russell, and Valenzuela in the Dodger fifth inning, each side with 2 runs in the second. Giants have left 4, the Dodgers only 1. The left center field, Venable, though, in position to make the catch, and that'll do it for Scioscia. 8 in a row retired by Lasky. Remember Claude Osteen, the former Dodger?
Bill Russell.
He's now the Phillies pitching coach. He says Lasky reminds him a lot of Scott Sanderson of the Expos. Lasky with that short arm motion, little or no muscle definition. Almost hit a Russell. Bill singled his first time up, was a wild pitch to second with 2 out of the second after the Dodgers had scored twice, and Fernando hit a ball hard, but in the air to Venable. In San Diego on a 3-2 pitch with the bases loaded and nobody out, Rick Camp just walked Tim Lawler to force in a run, and it's 1-1. You talk about dramatics on the final day. We're going crazy trying to watch 3 games. A strike to Russell. 2-1. Atlanta hadn't won a divisional title since 1969. Cardinals hadn't won any kind of a championship since 1968, and they're waiting to see who they're going to play on Wednesday. Inside to Russell. 3-1. Fernando's next. You realize only 3 teams in the National League had never won a divisional crown going into this season? San Diego, Chicago, and St. Louis. And now the Cardinals have theirs. You talk about parity in baseball. It has really settled on the scene. A strike to Russell, 3-2. So the Padres have tied the Braves in the fifth. They have the bases loaded, nobody out. And Alan Wiggins, the speedster from Pasadena, coming to the plate to face Rick Camp. That's a foul. I tell you, they've got to be proud of the Giants up here. When we saw San Francisco the opening weekend of the season, Denny and Jerry and I were talking about it, we said the way this ball club looks, they're going to finish last. And they came from 13.5 games behind to 1 game behind. Wiggins gets a base hit in San Diego, and the ball rolls past Harper into the San Diego bullpen. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. 3 runs are in. Wiggins to third with a triple, and the Padres lead 4-1. And in San Francisco, Russell bounces one to Patini. He throws to first, and they're 2 away. So Alan Wiggins, a one-time Dodger farmhand, hits one down the left field line. It slid under the glove of Terry Harper, and the bases were unloaded in a hurry. San Diego has scored 4 times in the fifth inning to lead over the Braves 4-1. But the Dodgers, remember, have got to win this one, even if San Diego wins. Here's Fernando with 2 out and nobody on. Ball 1. The Cardinals are probably pulling for the Braves. The Dodgers and Atlanta both won 7 of 12 from St. Louis during the regular season. But Whitey Herzog and several of his players say the Dodgers give us more trouble. As Herzog pointed out, Fernando Valenzuela and Jerry Royce pitch as well against us as any two pitchers in the National League. 2-0 to Fernando. At the strike. Loop to left center field. Venable's got a long run, but he's got the speed to get there. Again, the Dodgers are gone in order. 10 in a row retired by Lasky. 4.5 innings down. Still a 2-2 tie.
Friends, he's been part of the Dodger family for over 30 years. He's won numerous awards for his vivid broadcasting style, and on August the 1st, he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. He's Vin Scully, a gentleman who's long been recognized as one of the finest sportscasters in the business. This week, Union 76 is offering you this handsome portrait of Vin absolutely free at participating stations while supplies last. You don't have to buy a thing, but you must be a licensed driver. So come on in and go with the spirit of 76.
The Western Air Force honors a new ace. Captain Steve Walker, one of Western Airlines' crack pilots on the Seattle-Tacoma run, proudly displays his newest battle stars. Testimony to unflinching service. Captain Walker has been decorated for performance above and beyond, flying mission after mission to Seattle-Tacoma at unbeatable fares. Captain Steve Walker of the Western Air Force, a new force in the sky to Seattle-Tacoma. Thanks, Steve. A grateful nation salutes you.
Here's Danny Goodman's latest souvenir offer, a set of 28 baseball trading cards, 2 wristbands, a Dodger baseball cap, and a child's vinyl jacket available in children's sizes only, small, medium, and large. All 4 items for only $5. Send to Danny Goodman, Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles 90012. Also, plan to stop in at Danny's Souvenir Gift Shop, located across from the Dodger offices in Dodger Stadium. It's open from 9 a.m. through the end of the game when the Dodgers are at home, and from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. when the Dodgers are on the road. We're tied at 2 as the Giants come up in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Fernando will be looking at Max Venable, Joe Morgan, and Jack Clark. Meanwhile, in San Diego, the Padres leading 4-1 over the Braves, bottom of the 5th. Wiggins is still at 3rd. One man is out, and Donnie Moore has replaced Rick Camp.
Leading off, number 49, the center fielder, Max Venable.
Max Venable has been called out on strikes twice today. He's playing because Chili Davis tore up his ankle here a few nights ago. In San Diego, Gene Richards has lofted a sacrifice fly to center field to get Alan Wiggins home, and San Diego's got a 5-1 lead. But the Dodgers have got to win this one, folks, or it's wait till spring training. Venable, a Dodger minor leaguer at one time at Lodi, talking with plate umpire Frank Pulley. Fernando misses outside, and the count evens 1-1. Popped up. Monday in right field. So Fernando has retired 5 in a row since the walks to Smith and Evans, and the pitcher's starting to settle down after rocky beginnings for both. Joe Morgan has walked and popped up. Of course, Darrell Evans has said the reason the Giants do so well against Valenzuela is simply because Fernando's screwball is not that effective against left-handed hitters, such as himself and Morgan. Left-hander Gary Lavelle begins to warm up in the San Francisco bullpen. Fastball for the strike, 0-2. Well, San Diego is finally out in the 5th inning, but what an inning it was as you look at Lavelle. 5 runs for the Padres, and they lead Atlanta 5-1 going to the 6th. A reminder once again, if the Dodgers win today and the Braves lose, there'll be a 1-game playoff at Dodger Stadium tomorrow at 5:15. Breaking ball to Morgan, evens the count 2-2. Box, reserved, and general admission tickets for the possible game are on sale at the Dodgers Advance Ticket Office, 1750 Stadium Way, and at all Ticketron and Mutual outlets. The Dodgers Advance Ticket Office is open until 5:30 this afternoon and again tomorrow. Morgan strikes out. So now make it 8 strikeouts for Fernando. His seasonal high 11, and he lost that ball game to Lee Tunnell and the Pittsburgh Pirates 1-0. Breaking ball got Morgan. 2 away, and here's Jack Clark. The Dodgers Advance Ticket Office, by the way, is going to open again tomorrow morning at 8:30. If there's a playoff tomorrow. Tickets will be sold at regular season prices. And if tomorrow's game is not played, well, tickets will be returned to the place of purchase. You get your money back. Clark takes a strike. Clark has struck out twice today. Six of Fernando's 8 strikeouts have come at the top of the order. Venable twice, Morgan once, Clark twice, Smith once. A 2-2 tie last of the 5th inning. 1-1. Milwaukee has just hit another home run off Jim Palmer in the 6th inning. It is 4-1 Brewers. Yount hit the first 2, and we're checking to see who hit this one. But it is 4-1 with Don Sutton leading Jim Palmer. And the title on the line on the American League East at Baltimore. Out of play. So Clark's still up there 1-2. Since they won the National League West in 1971, the Giants have never finished higher than 3rd place. They thought this might be the year coming into this final week. But they placed 3rd now in 1973, 1975, 1978, and now 1982. So what an improved club they've got. Again, lifted foul and out of play. When the Dodgers hit in the 6th, they'll start with the top of the order, Sachs, Landreau, and Baker. Our congratulations to the Angels, who won the American League West Championship yesterday. They're going to open their championship series against either Baltimore or Milwaukee at Anaheim Tuesday at 5:25. And they just put up on the scoreboard here, San Diego 5 in the bottom of the 5th. And if the Dodgers needed a little boost, that might be it. You'd think the Giants were still in the race the way the crowd erupted. There must be a lot of Dodger fans here again today. Two and two to Clark. Two out, nobody on. Tap. Fair ball. Scioscia throws him out. Giants gone in order to the 6th inning. 2-2.
From the Farmer John collection, smoked sausage to delight every meat-loving appetite. Abundantly rich in savory, smoky goodness. Enhanced zestfully with a taste-teasing blend of natural herbs and spices. And coarse ground into a truly tempting texture. Serve alone as a hearty dinner meat or in a variety of delicious dishes. Smoked sausage, pork and beef, Or smoked beef sausage in which all the meat is beef. A mighty challenging choice from Farmer John.
Datsun 200SX. Here's blistering acceleration that left 70 other cars behind in this toughest of all rallies. Datsun 200SX, twin-ignited Hemi-head muscle wrapped in power styling. Datsun 200SX. Drive this fuel-injected beauty and you drive a winner. Proven from Mombasa to Main Street.
Datsun, we are driven. The Energizer.
Now, get pictures of every cousin.
Everyone, Grandma? Glad I just put the Energizer in here.
Of all leading battery brands, nothing outlasts the Energizer from Eveready. Nothing outsnaps it. Nothing outadds, outwalks, outplays, outtapes, outshines, outlasts it. Nothing.
Now me with each grandchild.
No problem. With the Energizer.
The Energizer. Energize for life.
Long life.
Energize me.
Alice serves up the laughs, weeknights at 6:30, beginning tomorrow here on LA 11.
It's another marvelous game and a tremendous day for baseball in San Francisco. A 2-2 tie to the 6th inning, and the Dodgers will lead off with Steve Sax against Bill Lasky. The pitchers now are really back on the beam. Sax is fly to center, bounced in front of the plate, and Brindley threw him out. Lasky, who has retired 10 in a row, looking for his 14th win. Lavelle is standing in the San Francisco bullpen, not throwing. Sax drives one to right center field, a long run for Max Venable. But again, he's able to use his speed to get there and take an extra base hit away from Sax. So one out, and here's Ken Landreau. Landreau has struck out and popped up. It was Cecil Cooper who hit the home run for Milwaukee for the 4-1 lead. Now Frank Robinson is walking out toward the mound. The Giants have been saying that Lasky has been tired in the last couple of weeks. And it could be that Frank will make a change here with the left-handed hitter Landreau coming up. Even though Lasky has retired 11 successive hitters. Lasky's told his manager, I'm okay. So he'll stay on. You know, the winner of the Milwaukee-Baltimore game today is going to finish with 95 wins, the most in the majors. The loser of that game will have the second best record in baseball and be through for the season. Boy, that's tough. One out, nobody on. Top of the 6th. Dodgers 2, Giants 2. Popped up into shallow center field. Going out is Joe Patini, and he one-hands it. Two out for Dusty Baker.
Number 12, left fielder, Dusty Baker.
Baker has singled and fouled out. Down in San Diego, Tim Lawler has been replaced. 5-1 in the 6th inning, but Dick Williams has pulled Lawler out of the game. Baker flares one into left center. Venable coming in again. He's there, and he's got it. So Max Venable has caught 4 fly balls in the last 2 innings. The Dodgers haven't had a runner since the 2nd. And at the end of 5.5, Dodgers 2, Giants 2.
The Western Air Force salutes the unsung heroes of its Mexico flights. They're the men and women who keep Western Airlines buttoned up and flying high. Master mechanics, battle-tested baggage handlers, crack cleanup crews. Thousands of dedicated guys and gals who make Western's flights to Mexico some of the smoothest and most affordable, with unbeatable fares. Keep the Western Air Force flying, fellas. We couldn't be a new force to Mexico without you.
Just ask her. Maybe she'd really like to go out with you. Go on.
You're right, Jill. I'll just say it.
Say what, Nick?
Could I
Yes?
tune your car?
Oh, do you think I need it?
Well, it is running rough. First thing I learned at certified service school.
Is tonight okay?
Great.
Tonight? We're going to spend a big evening. I can make reservations.
tune-up,
get some
babe.
flowers. Get certified service. Tune-up, babe.
It's a start.
At Union 76.
Say, friends, we have a special offer to all Dodger Blue subscribers from now to the remainder of the year. You'll receive a year's subscription to Dodger Blue, the official newspaper of the Los Angeles Dodgers, and you'll receive a copy of the official recording of the 1981 World Championship Dodger year. Send your name and address and $15.95 to Dodger Blue, Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, California, 90012. You'll be right up to date on all the Dodger doings throughout the year.
It's Fan Appreciation Day at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. And, yeah, wonderful to see the youngsters out. A 2-2 tie as Reggie Smith leads off against former teammate Fernando Valenzuela in the bottom of the sixth. Reggie has struck out and walked. Strike. In San Diego, Atlanta has 2 on and 1 out in the 6th inning, and Luis De Leon has replaced Tim Lawler, who yielded only 1 hit. Dale Murphy is the batter. 5-1 Padres. Ground ball to Russell. 1 out. 8 in a row retired by Valenzuela. Lasky's gotten the last 13 Dodgers. In the 2nd inning, in the period there one would be around for the 3rd. Darrell Evans has singled and walked. Milwaukee 4, Baltimore 1 in the 6th inning to Baltimore in the game to decide the American League East flag. Evans has worn Fernando out this year, 4 for 7. When you come down to the final day and you're 1 game behind, you start thinking about all the games during the year that you might have won. In this case, it's true of everybody in baseball, I'm sure. Murphy just popped up at San Diego, so 2 on and 2 out there. The ones, though, that come to my mind, a game in June at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers led San Diego 4-0 going to the 9th inning and lost it in the 10th. Evans lets the fly ball to right to Monday. Rick started back, has to come up, but he's there now and makes the catch for the 2nd out. Jeff Leonard will be the hitter. There was a night in April at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers leading the Phillies 3-0 after 7. Phillies got 3 in the 8th, 6 in the 9th, pulled that ball game out. The night Fernando struck out his 11 and lost to the Pirates in Lee Tunnel 1-0 in September. The 13-inning loss in September at home to St. Louis. And, of course, the recent 8-game losing string when 6 of those were by 1 run and 6 of them were at Dodger Stadium in the losing string. The Dodgers won only 5 more than they lost at home this year. They're where they are because of their road record. Leonard fouls it back. Jeff has doubled and struck out. The Dodgers led by 3 games with 10 to go, and they had the next 7 at home, but they lost 6 of the 7. And now they are fighting for their lives, trying to get a boost from the San Diego Padres. Chris Chambliss is at the plate in San Diego, and he has lifted a fly ball to center field that is caught. So De Leon puts out the fire. Atlanta doesn't score in the sixth. 5-1 Padres at the end of 5.5. And here at Candlestick, Jeff Leonard upset with himself. He thought he should have given that one a ride. Leonard does not think of himself as a home run hitter, but Jimmy Lefebvre, his hitting instructor, was telling me the other night, he's got the power. He just doesn't have the stroke yet. Of course, Jeff had a grand slammer here off Dave Stewart earlier in the year to beat the Dodgers. Fernando misses, and the count is 2-2. 2 out, nobody on. Last of the sixth. Drama building. Dodgers 2, Giants 2. When the Dodgers bat in the seventh, they'll have Garvey, Mundy, and Say to face Bill Lasky, who allowed 4 hits in the first 2 innings and none since. Good pitch by Fernando. He's got his 9th strikeout. Ben will be back in a moment at the end of 6. It's still 2-2.
Hey, Frank, want to wager on the race? For a case of beer? Sure. What's your brand?
These boats will cover 200 miles before this wager's settled, but it's worth the wait, because it's for Michelob Light, that rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
You never beat us that bad before. We never raced for a whole case of Michelob Light before.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste.
From the Farmer John collection, bacon that's reminiscent of the legendary home-smoked bacon of the long-ago West. For it smoked the old-time Western way, ever so unhurriedly, to give it a richer, smokier goodness, a truly Western flavor. See how much more it does in great taste for your BLT sandwiches. And crumbled into pieces, let it provide a luscious lift to your tossed green salads. In short, the next time you do your food shopping, bring home the bacon. From Farmer John.
Avis is trying harder to get your business. We'll even persuade you with a free travel bag or certificates good toward portable TVs, headphone stereos, and more. You may come to Avis for our free gifts, but you'll come back for our unlimited mileage and we try harder service. When you rent, just present this coupon you get from travel agents or airline magazines.
I'm David Mahoney, chairman of Avis. We're trying harder to earn your business, and it's trying harder that makes Avis second to none.
Three's Company, weeknights at 7, beginning tomorrow on LA 11.
Well, hi, everybody. As we go to the 7th inning in San Diego, thanks to the double play ball that hit umpire Bob Engel, there are a lot of people in San Diego and Atlanta who might start thinking about the so-called Big Dodger in the sky. Meanwhile, the Dodgers locked up 2-2 as they go to the 7th inning at Candlestick. In San Diego, Joe Torre has relieved Rick Camp with Rick Mailer. You know, they were talking about Mailer to pitch last night, but they pitched Pascual Perez. He's relieving with Mailer today. And maybe we'll see him Monday. Who knows? Let's take a look at the 7th. Meanwhile, no matter what goes on in San Diego, the Dodgers must win up here. And they're locked up 2-2. Lasky has been magnificent, but Garvey a fly ball to Jack Clark. 1 away. Give you an idea how good Lasky has been. That's 14 in a row. The right-hander has retired. So Bill Lasky and some of the Giants we had talked to before the game was saying that he was tired and that he might have trouble. Boy, he's been great. And, of course, what can sometimes happen, if you do throw a sinker when you're tired, the sinker becomes more effective. As the pitchers say, drag your arm a little bit. You're watching it all, the biggest day of the year, on Channel 11, KTTV in Los Angeles. Rick Monday hit into a force play, grounded out, 0 for 2. Ball 1. Tom Niedenfuhr is throwing in the Dodger bullpen. Valenzuela must have made 1,000 pitches already. One ball, no strikes. Ball 2. Valenzuela has struck out 9 while walking 5. Lasky has not walked anybody and has struck out only 2. But in this instance, that's a better game. You don't pitch as much. That's a strike. 2-1. A 2-2 tie in the 7th inning. There's Fernando. Remember, his last complete game was a nifty 12-hitter. Inside, and I think that might have hit Frank Cooley a little bit. 3-1 to count. They're going to the 7th inning in San Diego, with the Padres leading 5-1. But oh my goodness, that ground ball double play ball that hit the umpire. Will they chew on that one a while? Monday, fouling it back, 3-2. We talked about Lasky retiring 14 in a row. Fernando's retired 10 in a row. And one of the 14, Sachs, was robbed of a hit on a fine running catch by Max Venable. 2 of the 3 giant outfielders were weaned in the Dodger organization, Jeff Leonard and Max Venable. 3-2 to Mo. High fly ball into deep left field, slicing in the corner, foul. Three and two. Monday, who had the big grand slam Friday night, who had the big home run against Montreal over the center field fence at Olympic Stadium, missing down in the left field corner. Foul back. Waiting his turn on deck, Ron Cey, who hit a 2-run home run and then struck out. Well, I tell you what, no matter how this day turns out, it has been a magnificent day, huh? If you love baseball, this is really a love affair today. 3-2 to Monday. Ground ball up the middle. That breaks the string. So having retired 14 in a row, Lasky gives up a base hit to Monday, and that will bring up Ron Cey. Cey has hit a half a dozen home runs against the Giants this year. In his career, he has consistently plagued San Francisco. Cey has hit 34 home runs against the Giants in his career. 6 this year. There's Gary Lavelle. So with 1 out, 1 on, a 2-2 tie in the 7th. And it's 5-1 San Diego over Atlanta in the 7th. Ball 1, and a good save by Bob Brenly. That thing almost went to the backstop. Steve Yeager goes jogging down to the Dodger bullpen. And he is going to warm up. And that means they're thinking about a hitter for Scioscia should Gary Lavelle come in. You've always got to keep somebody at the ready. So the left-hander in the pen, a left-hand hitter on deck. Pretty easy to read Lasorda's mind there. 1 ball and no strikes to Ron Cey. Monday, short lead. Check swing for a strike. You remember, Cey was called out on a check swing by first base umpire Jerry Crawford. That was in the 4th inning. Tell me the truth. Didn't you know it was going to come down to this? Sure you did. There's a line drive base hit to right field. Stopping at second is Monday. And now let's see. It's up to Frank Robinson. He has to make the first move. Normally, Robinson makes his move on the grass. Let's see. He shook his head no, but now he's made it. They're going to bring in Lavelle. The scouting on Frank Robinson is he always goes to the bullpen before he gets to the first base foul line, and he's done it again today. So here comes Lavelle. The anticipated move, the left-hander coming in, and so the Dodgers now will hit for Scioscia.
We've got the best this fall on LA 11. Weeknights starting at 6 when the recruits at MASH return for a half hour of nonstop madness. Then there's always something cooking at Mel's Diner when Alice serves up the fun weeknights at 6:30. And at 7, it's a house full of laughs with Jack, Janet, and Chrissy when Three's Company comes to KTTV. Followed by a second dose of wild madcap comedy with the Zanies on MASH. It's an evening of great comedy starting Monday on LA 11.
Number 43.
So Gary Lavelle coming out of the Giant bullpen to pick up for Bill Lasky. Lasky went 6 1/3 innings, allowed 2 runs and 6 hits, no walks, and just ran out of gas after retiring 14 in a row, a single by Monday and a single by Say. Now that left-hander Lavelle has been brought in, the Dodgers go to the bench, and Jose Morales will be coming up against Lavelle. Gary Lavelle is 6-2 in his last 26 games, and his earned run average is 2. Of course, he is the San Francisco career leader in saves and appearances. So you talk about a veteran, you get him now with left-hander Lavelle. Gary for the year is 10-7. This is his 68th game, and he has saved 8. So Morales will be batting for Scioscia, and that means Yeager, who could have played the last couple of days. He has a sore hip. Yeager will be behind the plate in the bottom of the 7th. Scioscia had fouled out and flied to center, and he'll give way now for Morales. How has Jose done this year? Well, he has a 276 average. He has 8 hits, including a home run, and 8 runs batted in. The other half of the bullpen, now that Al Holland was used up left today, the other half, right-hander Greg Minton begins to throw in the Giant pen. The pitcher spot is due up 3rd in the bottom of the 7th inning for San Francisco, so they get Minton ready. Jose Morales with Monday at second, Say at first, and Morales at the plate. You have no speed at all out there for the Dodgers. A good running fastball that ran away, and Morales turned and asked the plate umpire Pulley, did I swing at a strike? And Pulley nodded yes. So that running fastball got the corner. In the 7th inning in San Diego, Atlanta, 2 men on and nobody out. And Glenn Hubbard is the batter. It's 5-1 Padres in the 7th. 0-1 the count to Morales. The Dodgers trying to break a 2-2 tie. 1-1. The Luis de Leon is in a jam in the 7th inning. 2 on, nobody out. Hubbard at the plate, 5-1 Padres. Curveball hit foul off first, and that will go back into the stands out of play. 1-2 to Jose Morales. Say and Monday taking their lead. Now Atlanta has loaded the bases with nobody out. So De Leon is in a mess, leading 5-1. But Atlanta with the bases loaded, nobody out. Foul ball. Gary Lavelle, 33-year-old hard-nosed left-hander out of hard-nosed country. He comes from Scranton, Pennsylvania. One and two to Morales. 2-2. One of the high points certainly in Lavelle's career. In the 77 All-Star game, he worked 2 innings and struck out Yastrzemski and Jackson along the way. Ball 3. Down in San Diego, Luis de Leon has come out, and Dave Dravecky is coming in to relieve with the bases loaded and nobody out. 5-1 San Diego. Top of the 7th. 3-2. The runners do not go. And the pitch is going to be lined foul. Andy McGaffigan, who's down there in the bullpen, catching that line drive. Frank Robinson coming out now and talking to Frank Pooley. Three and two, the count to Jose Morales. Pooley talking to Doug Harvey about a point that Robinson has brought up. And the umpires want privacy to talk about it. I wish I could get a good shot at Frank Pooley to read his lips. It's talking about you brought in Lavelle, and I just saw him say the Dodgers brought up Morales. And then Pooley said, never mind, whatever the point was that Robinson brought up, it is disallowed. Naturally, the pitcher has to pitch to a batter. So 3 and 2 to Jose Morales with one out. Runners at first and second. High chopper foul with the runners going. Well, it's still 3 and 2. Dravecky, with the bases loaded and nobody out, was pitching to Rufino Linares. And Linares hit into a force play at the plate. So it is still San Diego 5, Braves 1, one out. And Bob Horner, who has not played since he suffered a hyperextension of his right elbow on September the 18th. Bob Horner is coming up with the bases loaded. The runners go, and Morales fouls it away. Another big moment in two ballparks. We're all going to be in a rubber room by the end of today. I don't care how it comes out. All right, Monday and Say going 3 and 2 with Morales up there. Horner hitting with the bases loaded against left-handed Dravecky in San Diego. And Horner popped it in the air to shallow right center. And it's caught, and the Braves have to hold. So the bases are still loaded in San Diego with 2 out. And San Diego leading. The runners go. High chopper. Morgan's lost it in the sun. The bases are loaded. I can't believe it. Morales hit that ball down in the dirt, killed a family of worms, and then Morgan, looking up into the glare, couldn't make a play. Look at that kangaroo hop. And watch Morgan. He'll go down on his numbers. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. In San Diego, Claudel Washington is the batter. The bases are loaded with 2 out. And Dave Dravecky trying to get Washington and get out of the inning. Now Greg Minton will be brought in our game with the bases loaded. And let's see Bill Russell. Russell has gone back into the dugout. It's an infield single for Morales. So Horner, a fly ball to shallow right for the 2nd out, and Dravecky trying to get out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation. Claudel Washington is hitting in San Diego. Bill Russell is hitting in San Francisco. San Diego leading 5-1, and the Dodgers tied 2-2. And Dave Dravecky has just struck him out. Claudell Washington struck out. Meanwhile, Mark Bradley is running at first. Have you got all that? Holy mackerel. Oh, my goodness. Don't you love it? Wow. I tell you, I have always loved the game of baseball. For 33 years, I have loved it. And I got to tell you, I'm out of my mind today. It is absolutely the greatest. So Greg Say going 3-2 with Morales up there. Horner hitting with the bases loaded against left-handed Dravecky in San Diego. And Horner popped it in the air to shallow right center. And it's caught, and the Braves have to hold. So the bases are still loaded in San Diego with 2 out. And San Diego leading. The runners go. High chopper. Morgan's lost it in the sun. The bases are loaded. I can't believe it. Morales hit that ball down in the dirt, killed a family of worms, and then Morgan, looking up into the glare, couldn't make a play. Look at that kangaroo hop. And watch Morgan. He'll go down on his numbers. So the bases are loaded with 1 out. In San Diego, Claudell Washington is the batter. The bases are loaded with 2 out. And Dave Dravecky trying to get Washington and get out of the inning. Now Greg Minton will be brought in our game with the bases loaded. And let's see Bill Russell. Russell has gone back into the dugout. It's an infield single for Morales. So Horner, a fly ball to shallow right for the 2nd out, and Dravecky trying to get out of a bases loaded, nobody out situation. Claudell Washington is hitting in San Diego. Bill Russell is hitting in San Francisco. San Diego leading 5-1, and the Dodgers tied 2-2. And Dave Dravecky has just struck him out. Claudell Washington struck out. Meanwhile, Mark Bradley is running at first. Have you got all that? Holy mackerel. Oh, my goodness. Don't you love it? Ah. I tell you, I have always loved the game of baseball. For 33 years, I have loved it. And I got to tell you, I'm out of my mind today. It is absolutely the greatest. So Greg Minton picks up with the bases loaded. 1 out in the 8th inning, and Bill Russell a batter. And there are a lot of things that could happen here. Among others is whether Tommy Lasorda would put the squeeze play on in the 7th.
Number 18.
So Bradley is at first. Say is at 2nd. Monday is at 3rd. 1 out, 7th inning, and a 2-2 tie. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning in San Diego, 5-1 Padres. And what a job turned in by Dave Dravecky. A force play at the plate, a fly ball to shallow right, and a strikeout of Claudell Washington. Milwaukee is leading Baltimore 4-1 in the last of the 7th. So here is Russell, and the Giant infield is up. We'll really keep an eye on Monday, because he'll tell us if there is a squeeze. He'll be the first one to make the commitment. Minton pitching out of a stretch to try and foil the squeeze and keep an eye on Monday. Monday is not coming. Ball 1. Russell single to right, grounded to short, and he's taking a long look at Ozark. On deck, Fernando. Again, Monday is the key. He has to have perfect timing, if it is a squeeze, to make his commitment. Monday is not coming. Ball 2. 2 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Giants. And Greg Minton following Lavelle and starter Lasky. Well, the Dodgers don't have to worry about a pitch out now, 2-0, so let's see. Monday is not coming. Strike. This now, if there be such a thing as an ideal count, if there is an ideal count for a squeeze play, this is the count. 2 balls, 1 strike. For many managers, let's put it that way. And again, keep your eye on Monday. Monday's coming. There's the bunt, fouled away. There it was. The perfect count, the perfect spot. Russell fouled it off. 2-2. Take another look. All right. 2-2. Go back to hitting. Bob Walk is now pitching for Atlanta in the bottom of the 7th inning. So a 2-2 tie. Bases loaded, 1 out. Russell trying desperately to get somebody home. Fouled away. Gee, over the last week, how many big games have involved a bases loaded situation? So many. And even Friday night, of course, the home run by Monday came with the bases loaded. The chant begins again. Beat L.A., beat L.A. That's all they've got up here this year. But it's enough for Giant fans. Down he goes. He might have chased ball 3. Looked like Russell went after a bad ball, but of course, if he hits a slow roller to second base with it, he would have picked up the RBI. That means they will bat for Fernando. And the batter will be George Orta. Let's see that pitch. Oh, yeah, it looked like it was a ball, but as I say, if you hit it off the end of the bat, you get an RBI. So here is Orta. So Valenzuela went 6 innings, allowed 2 runs, 2 hits. He walked 5 while striking out 9. And Fernando finished up, retiring 10 in a row. He is still the pitcher of record. If Orta can come up with something to get a run over, and the Dodgers go on to win it, Fernando could win his 20th. But this is the only shot left for Fernando. George Orta. Tom Niedenfuer will be pitching the 7th inning. And there's Fernando. He gave it his best shot. He allowed only 2 hits. He walked 5, struck out 9, and he certainly responded to the pressure of the game. Magnificent performance. Peter O'Malley dying a little bit behind the Dodger dugout, listening to the San Diego broadcast, which is piped into San Francisco. And here is Orta. So the Braves had the bases loaded and nobody out and failed to score. The Dodgers, the bases loaded and 1 out, and now they have 2 out. Paid attendance 47,457. Almost 50,000 in the house. 2-2, 7th inning. An excruciating day. Monday, Shea and Bradley on the lines. Ball 1. Well, that 2-1 count will hang in the air for a while. The Dodgers, the perfect spot, and then Russell fouled it off. One ball and no strikes to George Orta. Ball 2. Well, he was behind to Russell 2-0. Fought his way back. They're going to the top of the 8th inning in San Diego, and the Padres leading Atlanta 5-1. And Dave Dravecky pitching for San Diego. We're 2-2, 7th inning, 2 out, bases loaded. Strike. So it's the same pattern as with Russell. He fell behind 2-0, got a strike. The Dodgers put a squeeze on, and Russell fouled it off. And Russell eventually appeared to swing at a bad ball to strike out. 2-1 to order. Two and two. Giant fans reacting as you know they would, as if this was the most important game of the year for them. It's all they've got left. Beat L.A. And the chant begins again. Beat L.A. Two and two to George Orta. Fouled away. Fouled at the plate. Bob Brenly shaken up on that. So the Giant catcher nods yes when Minton said, "Are you okay?" Beat L.A. Beat L.A. That's all you hear. And that's the way it's supposed to be. 2 and 2. High chopper to Morgan, and they're going to get out of the inning and off the hook. At the end of 6.5, a 2-2 tie.
Oh, nice 64.
Yeah. Listen, you guys have leaded premium gasoline, don't you?
Yeah, Union 76 Super.
Oh, great.
Say, don't I know you from somewhere?
No, just fill it up with 76 Super, okay?
Sure, leaded premium with real spirit.
No, I know.
Sure do look familiar.
No, I don't.
I got it. Shh. You work at the gas station down the street, where they don't have leaded premium.
Give me a break. Fill it up, will you, please?
Fill her up with spirit,
We do have leaded premium.
the spirit of 76.
6,000 acres, nearly as many chores. My 3 Datsuns are a match for anything. They go anywhere, 4x4. Roomy King Cab. And my Datsun Little Hustler. Hauls as much as some standard pickups and gets better gas mileage than all of them.
This 76-page Datsun football guidebook is loaded with everything about football, both college and pro, and it's yours free for the asking at your Datsun dealer now.
Say, friends, remember the pennant-winning years, 1977 and 1978? How about the excitement of the playoffs with Houston in 1980? And for that matter, who'll ever forget the ups and downs, the thrills of the 1981 World's Championship year? And what about the pennant race the Dodgers are in right now? What we're talking about is next year, celebrating our 25th anniversary. Why not be a member of the Dodger family and have season tickets? Send your name and address and phone number to 83 Season Tickets, Dodger Stadium, Los Angeles, 90012. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning at Candlestick Park, and the Dodgers make 2 changes. Steve Yeager will put on the gear behind the plate and bat 7th, and Tom Niedenfuhr picks up the pitching burden from Fernando. Bob Brenly will start it off, then Joe Patini and Greg Minton. Tom Niedenfuhr with a record of 3-3. Strike. And what we mentioned early in the broadcast, for the first time this decade, for the first time this century, the major leagues will have only one 20-game winner. Just one, and that's Steve Carlton, and he won again today to give him 23. Not another 20-game winner in sight. Fernando had his chance, and the Dodgers couldn't give him the run in the 7th inning. Brenly walked, fly deep to left. Ground ball to the left is short. Base hit. Now Patini is being called away, and Champ Summers is coming out of the Giant dugout, a left-hand hitter, to bat for Patini.
Batting for Patini, number 6, Champ Summers.
In San Diego, they're at bat in the bottom of the 8th inning as Atlanta went out in order. San Diego 5, Atlanta 1 in the bottom of the 8th. But the Dodgers are locked up 2-2 in what has turned out to be a chamber of horrors, Candlestick Park. The Dodgers, in a sense-looking bunt, have shortened up Say and Garvey ready to push off the bag. And Summers swinging. Ground foul. Foul ball. With Garvey holding the runner, had it been a fair ball, Garvey probably could have turned it into a double play. So even though the feeling up here is, wow, we almost had a fair ball, that might have been a blessing for the Dodgers. Lasorda, Monty Basgall, Ron Paranowski sweating it out in the dugout. 0-1 to Champ Summers. Strike 2. Tom Niedenfuer. A 3-3 record, battling for the decision. He's being backed up by Terry Forster in the Dodger bullpen. A drive to right field, hooking in the corner. It's off the fence. It bounces by Monday. Here comes Brenly, and they're going to stop him at third. Tom Niedenfuer, who had been the most reliable of all of the Dodger elite pitchers, comes in and gives up a single and a double. And with second and third and nobody out, Greg Minton is due out. And let's see about a move by Frank Robinson. Minton will come up, and Lasorda going back to the dugout. So the Dodgers had a golden chance in the 7th, and they let it get away on a 2-1 squeeze play that was fouled off, and then a 2-2 pitch that was swung on and missed. Guy Soulars will now run for Champ Summers, and Soulars, an infielder, can then finish up at shortstop. So Soulars at second, Brenly at third, Minton a left-handed batter. Then you have Max Venable and Joe Morgan, two more left-handed batters. And Forster throwing in the pen. The infield is up. And of course now the Dodgers have to contend with a possible squeeze. Brenly at third. Full swing. 0-1. It is 5-1 San Diego in the bottom of the 8th, but that doesn't help the Dodgers if they can't beat the Giants. 0-1. 0-2. Niedenfuhr, of course, trying to blow him away. Tom looking for his 60th strikeout. Bottom of the 7th, a 2-2 tie. Fouled away. Give you an idea of Minton with the bat this year. He's had 16 at-bats, good for 3 hits, including a double and a run batted in. Oh, and 2. Foul back. Boy, I'll say one thing. Minton has really taken some rips up there. That last pitch, he didn't get cheated at all. 0-2. Take a look at the swing by the pitcher. I mean, he gave it his best shot. Brenly at third. Soulard running for Summers at second. Nobody out. 2-2, 7th inning. Ball 1. 1-2. Outfield shaded to left field on Minton. Strike 3 call. Breaking ball got him. 1 out. Take another look at the breaking ball as it dips in there. Minton quit thinking it was high. Boom. See you later. Now Lasorda going to the mound. He has Terry Forster and Joe Beckwith. The Giants have left-hand hitters Max Venable and Joe Morgan. And they are going to Forster. So Terry Forster will be brought in second and third.
Number 51, Terry Forster.
Three's Company, but 4. Monday on Three's Company, Chrissy's mother comes for a visit on the same day that Jack is moving in as the new male roommate. Janet temporarily moves Jack out to the neighborhood pub, but only until Mom leaves. But Chrissy's mom may not be going anywhere. She's enjoying her visit so much that she tells Chrissy she wants to stay the night. Join the fun on Three's Company, Monday at 7 on LA 11.
Trying to reflect the mood at Candlestick Park. They put on an old Elvis Presley record. We're all shook up. Well, Terry Forster, who pitched so well but lost against the Giants when he was involved in the 12-inning game. He gave the Dodgers a great 2 innings and then weakened and took the defeat in the 12th. That was a game where the Dodgers had a chance to win it, remember, in the 9th with the bases loaded and couldn't do it. Terry will be pitching to Jim Wolford, a right-hand batter, who will hit for Max Venable. And Wolford then could stay in the game, and Jeff Leonard would move into center. They are going to the 9th inning in San Diego. You talk about hanging by the neck. Imagine the Braves. If that game ends and they lose, they have to sit there in San Diego and wait to find out whether they can go home and then go to St. Louis or go to Los Angeles for a game tomorrow. Terry Forster is 5-6, and Jim Wolford, a veteran right-hand batter. Wolford hitting .257. He is 5 for 26 as a pinch hitter. The Dodger infield must play up with first base open, and Joe Morgan on deck. 2-2, bottom of the 7th. Slider, 0-1. Oh, what a day. 9th inning in San Diego. 5-1 Padres. Bottom of the 7th here, 2-2. 4-1 Milwaukee leading Baltimore. That Baltimore game is top of the 7th. Soulars at second, Brenly at third, 1 out. Foster trying to get Wolford. Got him. Oh, did he break off some mean breaking balls? Woo. He's not out of the woods yet. 2 down in the 7th inning. And the dangerous Joe Morgan coming up. And as they do up here, they play the music from Jaws, that ominous sound as Morgan checks in. Joe has walked, popped to short, struck out. Brenly at third, Soulars at second, 2 out in the 7th, a 2-2 tie. Ball 1. On deck, right-hand hitter Jack Clark. Baltimore. It is Milwaukee 5-1 after 8. And in San Diego, there is 1 out in the 9th inning. And Glenn Hubbard is hitting down there. Another little second baseman. Fastball, 1-1. In San Diego, Hubbard has hit a looper to left field that drops in front of Tim Flannery for a base hit. Foul ball here, and the count 1-2. So Hubbard gets a 1-out single in the 9th inning in San Diego. Soulars and Brenly at second and third at Candlestick. And 2 out. 1-2 the count to Joe Morgan. Drive to right field. Back goes Monday. It's gone. Ground ball wide to third to Say. He gets the out, the most uneventful out of the year. And at the end of 7, Giants 5, Dodgers 2.
One more set, guys? Nah, you guys are just too tough today. For Michelob Light?
You should have quit while you were ahead.
Would good friends go at it this hard just for a beer? Consider its Michelob Light, the rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
I don't get it. You guys killed us.
Don't blame us. You suggested we play for a Michelob Light.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste.
The Western Air Force advances across America. In a move destined to help liberate beleaguered air travelers, Western's Joint Chiefs begin an all-out campaign against high airfares, with unbeatable fares from the East Coast to Hawaii, Alaska to Mexico, and to over 40 cities in between. There's no stopping the Western Air Force from its appointed mission. to be a new force in the sky against the airfares.
Wholesale meat prices are down, and Lucky's passing the savings on to you with some of the lowest meat prices of the year. Like fresh ground beef, just 89 cents a pound. T-bone steak is now just $2.19 a pound. Grade A fryers only 47 cents a pound. You'll find lower prices throughout the meat case. Stock up now with new lower meat prices from Lucky. Passing the savings on to you. That's basic value from Lucky, the discount supermarket.
Alice serves up the laughs weeknights at 6:30, beginning tomorrow on LA 11.
As we go to the 8th inning, the Giants making their changes. Jim Wolford is now in left field. Jeff Leonard moved from left to center. At shortstop, Guy Soulard is batting 8th. And just to really shake up the crowd, as Joe Morgan has crippled the Dodgers with a 3-run home run, they post the final score that San Diego has defeated Atlanta 5-1. And of course, that is music to the Giant fan, because now they know that Atlanta can't win it, but San Francisco can ruin the Dodgers. Foul ball by Sachs, 0-1. In looking quickly at a TV monitor, it was remarkable. They had a shot of the Atlanta dugout with 1 out in the 9th inning. And the players in the Atlanta dugout going crazy, happy, high-fiving it, even though they were losing 5-1. It was one of the strange sports sights of the year. 0-1 to Steve Sachs. And now the question, the Dodgers, who have played brinkmanship for 3 years, are at the brink again. And have they broken the law of averages this time? 0-1 to Sachs. He's 0 for 3. Greg Minton came in to pitch to Russell with the bases loaded and 1 out. Went 2-1. The Dodgers tried to squeeze, and Russell fouled it off. Russell chased what appeared to be a bad ball and then struck out, and Orta grounded out. And then, refreshed and exhilarated by that, the Giants roared back for 3. Fouled away. So the Dodgers have 6 outs left to them. Down in 80, they fought Houston to a standstill. Down last year to Houston, they came back. Against Montreal, they came back. Against the Yankees, they came back. And now in 82, they're really trying to do it the hard way. Fouled away. Valenzuela, Niedenfuer, and Forster. Niedenfuer is the pitcher of record. Lasky, Lavelle, and Minton. And Minton is the pitcher of record. Oh, 0-2 to Steve Sachs, leading off Matters in the 8th, followed by Landreau and then Baker. Ground ball to the right side to Morgan. Got him. 1 out in the 8th inning with Kenny Landreau coming up. The Dodgers not only down by 3 and with 5 outs left, they are facing one of the truly premier relief pitchers in the league. Greg Minton has 30 saves, tied with Garber behind Suter. Minton is supposed to go to the free agency field this winter. I would think he would bring quite a price. His earned run average this year, 1.8. Ball 1. Minton doesn't walk a lot. He doesn't strike a lot. He just gets a lot of outs. Ground foul. So the Dodgers scored 2 in the second. The Giants came back with 2 to tie it up. The Dodgers missed an opportunity in the 7th, and the Giants didn't. And it is 5-2 San Francisco, top of the 8th, 1 away. Meanwhile, Milwaukee leading Baltimore 5-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. I was just thinking, you know, today is the anniversary. It is the 31st anniversary of Bobby Thomson's home run that beat the Brooklyn Dodgers, the most painful day in the history of the borough of Brooklyn as far as baseball is concerned. Landreau, a fly ball to left center. Leonard coming over and can't handle it. And into second base is Landreau. When they took Venable out, they're hurting out there defensively, and Leonard couldn't handle that high fly ball. It'll be a double for Kenny Landreau, and the Dodgers alive. Big break. Leonard reaching for that ball like you look for a shoe in a dark closet. He wasn't sure where it was. He was just hoping to make contact. So Dusty Baker and Steve Garvey on deck. The Dodgers got a big break in the 7th inning on that high bouncer by Morales that Morgan couldn't handle, so he understands Leonard's problem. Baker has single, fouled out, and fly to center. 1 for 3. Fouled away. 0-1. 47,457 paid, just under 50,000 at Candlestick. But on the anniversary of Bobby Thomson's home run, the Dodgers are nailed by Joe Morgan's home run in the 7th inning. The only difference is they have a chance to recover. Line drive down the left field line and in the corner. Landreau will score. Baker into second base and holding, and the Dodgers are still alive. I'll tell you one thing, if you ever use the word choke about a professional baseball player, you ought to be ashamed. Steve Garvey singled, flied to left, and flied to right. So Baker doubles in Landreau. Garvey with Monday on deck. And Minton apparently going to go the distance on his own. There's no one throwing in the Giant bullpen. After all, he's the best they have. Hit down the line, foul into the stands. 5 runs, 5 hits for the Giants. 3 runs, 9 hits for the Dodgers. Top of the 8th inning. The Braves have lost. The Dodgers trying desperately to stay alive and force a playoff tomorrow. And as usual, if they do it, they'll do it the hard way. Oh, and 1. Steve hitting .282. Almost hit him on the hand. Of course, it's a good pitch. Garvey likes that breaking ball down and away. So Minton kind of driving him out of there. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the Braves are sitting in Jack Murphy Stadium, wondering where to go. Off speed. Good pitch. Garvey out in front of it. 1-2. Greg Minton battling Steve Garvey with 1 out in the 8th inning. Giants 5, Dodgers 3. Baker just knocked in a run, standing at second. Got him on the corner. Hard slider. $1 million pitch. So Garvey caught with the slider on the corner. Boy, that's a thoroughly big league pressure pitch. And with 2 out in the 8th inning, Rick Monday the batter. Monday hit into a force play, grounded out, singled in the 7th inning, and was coming to the plate on the squeeze play that never made it. 5-3 Giants in the 8th. Ron Cey on deck. Ball 1. The Giants have Smith, Evans, and Leonard in the bottom of the 8th. Giants 5, Dodgers 3, 2 out, top of the 8th. Baker at second. A paper blown around, a distraction, and plate umpire Pooley out there to get it. 1-0. High chopper back to Minton, who'll make the play. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left at the end of 7.5. Giants 5, Dodgers 3.
You beat the team you had to beat. Hey, look! You did it in the dust and heat. Now you're thirsty and hot, and you know what to do. 'Cause there's something big waiting for me and you. Coke is it, the biggest taste you've ever found. Coke is it, the one that never lets you down. Coke is it, the most refreshing taste around. Coke is it, Coke is it.
Hear that? That's engine run-on. I'll bet a lot of you out there have the same problem. It happens when your unleaded gasoline doesn't give your engine what it needs. You can solve the problem with premium unleaded, but Union 76 may have another answer. Union 76 Unleaded Regular. You see, 76 Unleaded Regular has more spirit than other unleaded regulars, so why buy premium if you don't have to? Stop at Union 76. Fill her up with spirit, the spirit of 76.
Every fan who enjoyed all of the excitement of 1981 will certainly want to have a copy of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the championship year. All the memories and the excitement of 1981 as the Dodgers came from almost nowhere to win the World's Championship against the New York Yankees. 96 pages of pictures and stories capturing it all. It'll cost you $11.95. Send your name and address on $11.95 to Championship Year, Post Office Box 51200, LA 90051. In the bottom of the 8th inning, the Giants leading the Dodgers 5-3. Reggie Smith, Darrell Evans, and Jeff Leonard. Reggie Smith struck out, walked, and grounded out. and lifts one to center. Landreau coming up, makes the catch. Can you imagine how it must feel to be Terry Forster, to come in and throw strikes and strike out Jim Wolford, and with runners at second and third and 2 out, get 2 strikes on Morgan, and then have him hit that big home run. Here's Darrell Evans, singled, walked, and flied to right. 1 for 2. Ball 1. When the Dodgers bat in the 9th, they have Ron Cey, Steve Yeager, and Bill Russell, or hitters. 2-0. Two and 1. In the Dodger bullpen, Joe Beckwith, who was throwing in the first and second inning, is up again. 2-2 to Darrell Evans. Fastball just missed. Good pitch. Not much Evans could do with it. It just ran off the corner. 3-2. Dave Bergman is getting ready in the Giant bullpen. He'll play first base in the 9th inning for Reggie Smith. Fouled away. There's Dave. Fouled the fastball away. Still 3-2. Got him. 2 down in the 8th inning. And the batter will be Jeff Leonard. And we'll pause for station identification. This is Channel 11, KTTV in Los Angeles. Jeff Leonard doubled in the 2nd inning. It was a key hit. It followed a base hit by Evans, and it set up the 2 runs that tied Fernando. After that, he struck out in the 3rd and in the 6th, and he surrounded a fly ball. But his double was the important contribution of the day. Fouled away. Fernando in 6 innings allowed only 2 runs and 2 hits. Walked 5, struck out 9, and came away no decision. And foiled for the 3rd try of getting 20. Check swing and a dribbler back to Forster. And Terry throws him out. So at the end of 8, the Giants 5 and the Dodgers 3. From the Farmer John collection, tender, tempting little skinless pork sausage links, a breakfast favorite in the Southland since way back when. And meaty, marvelous sausage patties cut from the roll, either mild or hot, for a hearty, wholesome main meal meat. It's the delicious one-of-a-kind sausage, the only Eastern pork sausage in Southern California that's strictly fresh and at peak of full, fresh flavor, and yours to enjoy only from Farmer John.
You need some Sentra. You need this car.
For outstanding economy, here's ultra mileage.
I need it.
For economy that moves, here's a powerful engine.
I need it.
For headroom, legroom, trunk room, value.
We need this price. You need some Sentra. Johnson. We are driven.
Hey, Frank, want to wager on the race? For a case of beer? Sure. What's your brand?
These boats will cover 200 miles before this wager's settled, but it's worth the wait, because it's for Michelob Light, that rich, smooth taste you can compare to any beer you like.
You never beat us that bad before.
We never raced for a whole case of Michelob Light before.
Michelob Light. Compare the taste.
Three's Company, weeknights at 7, beginning tomorrow on LA 11.
The ninth inning at Candlestick Park. 3 outs away between the end of the regular season or a date Monday with Atlanta. And the Dodgers find themselves down by 2. Interesting to look at Terry Forster. He faced 6 batters today. He got 5 of the 6, striking out 2 of them. Gave up 1 hit. But what a hit. So Ron Cey, then Ron Renicky, and we'll see about a batter for Russell. 5-3 Giants in the 9th. Dave Bergman at first base and Greg Minton trying to win it and pick up his 11th. Ball 1. Minden came in the 7th inning to pitch to Bill Russell as Bergman. But he came in the 7th inning with the bases loaded and 1 out. And he extricated the Giants from a very tough spot. Dodgers missing a squeeze. Russell eventually striking out, and then Orta grounding out. 2-0 the count. For Minton, in looking back over his year, he is a relief pitcher who works a lot as you look at Pedro. Minton has worked 120 innings, not counting how many times he has warmed up and not come into a game. 2-0 to Cey. Strike. Ron Cey hit a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. It was his 6th home run of the year against the Giants. He struck out in the 4th, and he singled to right in the 7th. Now just trying to get aboard any way he can and keep it alive. Ground ball back to third. What a stop by Evans. His throw got him. Oh, what a clutch play by Darrell Evans. Marvelous play. Evans taking a short double away from Ron Cey, and the Dodgers expending one of the 3 precious outs. And the batter is Ron Renicky, hitting for Bill Russell, for Steve Yeager. And the chant again. You can probably hear it in Los Angeles without a sound system. Beat L.A., beat L.A. They're going to live on that all winter up here. 0-1. One and 1 to Ron Renicky. Renicky hitting .307 as a left-handed batter. And he was the most productive Dodger pinch hitter with 13 hits and 5 RBIs. Foul back. And each strike now will elicit a louder noise from the crowd. One and 2 to Ron Renicky after a dazzling play by Darrell Evans. Pedro Guerrero swinging a bat in front of the Dodger dugout. 1 and 2. And the Dodgers are down to their last out. Boy, I'll say one thing. It would have been a lot less painful had Atlanta just won in San Diego. Now, of course, this crowd on its feet, enjoying the writhing last moments of a Dodger ball club one step from the end of the year. Russell with Guerrero on deck. Right. Boy, you'd think the Giants were heading to the playoffs, wouldn't you? Ground ball to Evans. Goodbye, 82.
I just gave this young gentleman and his family a good travel tip. Union 76 Auto Truck Stops. They offer a traveling family about anything they need, like top quality 76 gasoline or diesel. There's a travel store and a family restaurant with great food. So travelers can follow 76 Auto Truck Stops all along the interstates.
Coast to coast.
Ocean to ocean.
From Atlantic to Pacific.
Go with the spirit.
From sea to shining sea.
The spirit of 76.
The Western Air Force honors a new ace, Captain Charles King. One of Western Airlines' crack pilots on the Sacramento run proudly displays his newest battle stars, testimony to unflinching service. Captain King has been decorated for performance above and beyond, flying mission after mission to Sacramento at unbeatable fares. Captain Charles King of the Western Air Force, a new horse in the sky to Sacramento. Thanks, Charlie. A grateful nation salutes you.
The totals on the ball game. The Giants 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Dodgers 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Greg Minton, the winning pitcher, Terry Foster, the loser. And so the Atlanta Braves have won the National League West, and they will go to St. Louis, and our heartiest congratulations to them. A long, bitter, and yet exhilarating year that winds up for deep frustration for the Dodgers and a victory for the Atlanta Braves. Quite a moment here, too, watching various Giants and Dodgers bear hug one another, a tribute to the professionalism of the Giants, who wanted so badly to beat the Dodgers for no other reason than pride told them to do it. And Darrell Evans put a bear hug on Dusty Baker, as did Al Holland. And that one picture seemed to sum it up. And congratulations to the Giants, who had been eliminated but refused to just go through the motions. And congratulations to the Dodgers, who gave it all and came up a couple of bucks short. What a year. The totals again, before 47,457. The Giants 5 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. The Dodgers 3 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Ron Cey, a 2-run home run in the second inning, but Jeff Leonard's double sending Evans to third. Then a couple of walks, a double play ball, and the game was tied. And it was untied in the bottom of the 7th on a 3-run, 2-out home run by Joe Morgan after the Dodgers had their golden chance in the top of the 7th inning. Stay tuned for the last post-game show of the year coming right up. Dodger Baseball has been brought to you by the Coca-Cola Company and your local Coca-Cola bottler. For the taste that never lets you down, Coke is it. By Union 76 and your neighborhood Union 76 dealers, who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. by Farmer John, the only one who offers you strictly fresh Eastern corn-fed pork and pork sausage, as well as bacon, ham, hot dogs, luncheon meats, and other fine meat products. Farmer John. By Datsun, who invites you to see Datsun's lowest priced truck, the Datsun Little Hustler, just $58.58. By Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste. And by the Western Air Force. Western is fighting high airfares across the country, so fly the new force in the sky, Western Airlines.